Hey guys, how you doing? Good morning. Hope you are well. Happy Saturday to you. It is a glorious day here up in northern Lincolnshire. The sun is shining, which I feel is getting me prepared for my travels to Bali. Adita, hello. Aditi, hello. Good morning. Happy Saturday to you. Nice of you to join us. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the comments below, and a very big and warm welcome along to today's training. This is the first part in my 7-part Speaking Superstar training, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 super profitable reasons to add speaking to your business. So this includes virtual speaking as well as in-person speaking at the front of a room. So it's all transferable. And before we get into things, I would like to just cover a quick bit of housekeeping. Joanne, hello, good morning, happy Saturday to you. As always, I love to hear from you. You know, it's so much more fun if I can speak to you and with you rather than just speaking into the ether. So do share your comments, share your ahas. Guinevere, morning, how are you? Share your comments below, and also give me some hearts, give me some likes, you know, share those emojis are coming along the bottom of this so that I can see what you're thinking about today's content. And also, if you are listening into the replay, then drop replay in the comments too. I want to hear from all of you lurkers. And also, I know we have an international audience here, so where are you listening in from? Let's have a post in the comments below, and I will see where you're all from. I know some of you are in the UK, but I'm sure there are many of you listening in from around the world. And finally, I've got a super exciting announcement. I would love you to share this broadcast. And one of the things you may not know is that this 7-part training series is actually a sneaky peek at a small group intensive, a virtual intensive that I'll be hosting next weekend, next Saturday. Clara, Dion, good morning. Dion, hello. Wow, that's a long time since I've seen you. Nice of you to join me, Dion. But as I was saying, this is a sneaky peek of the Speaking Superstar Intensive that I will be hosting next Saturday. And I would love you guys to share the love. So I will actually be giving away one free spot to my intensive next weekend, valued at £997, to the person who shares this broadcast and all 7 broadcasts the most. I'm going to be keeping track. Come next Friday, you will know whether you have gained a complimentary space onto my Speaking Superstar training, valued at £997. So if you're keen to join me, then make sure you clear your diary next Saturday and share away to your heart's content. And if you are sharing this broadcast, then post share in the comments below, because I like to say thank you. Katrina, good morning. Who else have we got here? Julie, hello. Who else have we got? And where are you listening in from? Dion, I was thinking about you just yesterday, looking amazing. Thank you very much indeed. Getting a little older, but still feeling amazing, especially with my international travels coming up. That's always something that brightens up everybody's day. So welcome everyone, welcome, happy Saturday to you, bright sunny day, and the perfect day for this topic, because I am going to inspire you to action today. If you have always had an inkling that you'd like to get out speaking, or perhaps you're someone who has already done some speaking, but it's not been very profitable for you, listen up, because trust me, after what I have to share with you today, you are going to be chomping at the bit to get out there into the world, spreading your message to all and sundry. So, as I said, if you are joining, do introduce yourself, share this broadcast, because if you share it, the person who shares this and every other broadcast in this 7-part series, whoever does it the most gets a complimentary space entry to my Speaking Superstar event happening next Saturday. And it's a virtual event, so you can join no matter where you are in the world. Giano, hello, good morning, happy Saturday to you. So let's get into it. Let's, if you see me looking down, just following my notes here. So we're looking at 10 super profitable reasons to add speaking to your business. And we're going to be going into this topic in a lot more depth over the next few days, over the coming week. I'm going to be broadcasting live here at 10 a.m. most days from this page. So if you want to hear more on this, then do join me. Sandhu, hello, good morning. So let's get into this. Let's look at why you should be adding speaking to your business and how it's actually going to benefit you. I'm going to keep this short and to the point because I know it's Saturday and I'm sure you'll be wanting to go out and enjoy the sunshine. So the first one is that it positions you as the go-to expert. No matter whether you are new in business or not, there's something about standing up in front of an audience, either live and in person, or indeed doing it virtually, because everything I teach here is transferable to the virtual world as well. And of course, you know, a lot of people, if you're new in business, they don't know anything about you. They've never met you before. They don't know whether you're the real deal. They don't even know whether you can help them. They don't know anything about the service you offer or the way you deliver your service and indeed how it's going to benefit them. So when you stand up at the front of the room or you share your message, morning Max, hello, not Max, Matthew, by the way, I'm coming to Australia very soon, so we've got to meet up. I'll message you about that. As I was saying, whether you're speaking to a live audience or virtually, when you're new in business, nobody knows anything about you. So speaking is the way to get your message out there. It is a way to demonstrate your expertise. It is really the way to start elevating your business and brand, no matter whether you're more established or brand new in business, because it positions you as somebody who's an authority, because you're the one who's standing up, you're the one who's being visible. The second way that speaking is super profitable to your business is that it builds the KLT factor, as I like to call it. So what I mean by that is that it is the know, like, and trust factor. Let's put it this way. When you are running a service-based business, whether you're a coach, a consultant, a holistic therapist, you know, it's mainly when you run a service-based business as opposed to selling a product, because of course when you're selling a product, people can actually pick up your product, they can touch, taste and feel it, they can get an idea of what they're getting before they purchase it. Whereas when you're delivering a service, there's always so much more buying resistance because people can't get to experience you and your service until after they've parted with their cash. And so if there's any doubt there, they will simply say no. You know, doubt and confusion always just ends in a simple no. People are not willing to take the risk. But when you stand up and you speak to an audience, whether it's live and in person or virtually, just as I'm doing here now, people get to see you. They get to see your body language. They can tell whether you're shifty. You know, body language conveys so much more than the written word does, because, you know, we can hide behind writing. And yeah, it's true, somewhat, if we're great bullshitters, we might be able to stand in front of a room and just, you know, con people. But generally, we can tell if somebody isn't the real deal. And so when you're standing there as the authority at the front of the room and you're positioning yourself as the go-to expert, and people can see you, they can get a sense of your personality, they find out if you've got a sense of humor, you know, all the little things that make you a real person, that takes you from being someone who's in selling mode or just a business to being a real live human being, someone that we as buyers, as the purchaser, can connect with on a real level. And we decide in that moment whether we actually like someone, whether we feel we know them, whether they're like us, and whether we can trust them. And so when it comes to generating business, this is a key part of the game. So the more you show up and the more visible you are, and of course speaking is a great way to do that, the more likely you're able to build that know, like and trust factor. Stacey, hello. Yvonne, good morning. Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining us. So that's the second step. Know the KLT, the know, like and trust factor. Next up, step number 3 is to help you reach a new audience. That's the other way that speaking is going to benefit your business. Now, this is essential. If you are new in business, I know your biggest question is, where's the next lot of money coming from? Where are my clients going to come from? No one knows about me. Well, guess what? When you get out speaking, you are standing up in front of a room full of people. And if you market it correctly, they're potentially people who, a whole room full of people that could become a client. And in actual fact, an example of this is my business. When I first decided to really put myself in the game in my business and go for it, I spoke to a room full of 30 coaches, because mostly I work with coaches, consultants and therapists, people who run a service-based business. And because I was speaking to a very targeted audience, meaning potentially everyone in the whole room could become a client, I actually generated over £10,000 from that one speaking gig, and it was my first speaking gig. So if you're thinking that you have to be in business for a long time to have speaking be profitable, then think again. And the same applies to virtual speaking. I mean, let's think about how many people are going to be watching this broadcast right now. Some of you are listening live. Some of you will be listening to the replay. And if you are, drop replay in the comments below. And so you can see it is a great way of reaching a new audience. And what this means is it brings a consistent flow of clients. The same as if you are more established in business. The question is always going to be, okay, where are my next clients coming from? If you run a service-based business, this is the question that is uppermost in your mind. So if you set up a speaking gig once a month, or you show up regularly via Facebook Live or some other form of virtual speaking, then even if you don't do any other major strategies, you've done enough to be visible. And so speaking is a great way of doing that. Cindy, good morning. How are you? You're someone who's been part of my Speaking Superstar training before, so nice of you to come back to join us. And by the way, for those of you who are joining, I would love you to share this broadcast, because actually I've got a super exciting prize for those of you who attend every single one of these trainings in this 7-part series, and they share each one. The more times you share it, the more chance you have of receiving a complimentary space on my Speaking Superstar training, virtual training, happening next Saturday. So do share away and post share in the comments to let me know that you have. Next up, and the 4th reason why you should add speaking to your business, is that it gets you known as a recognized authority within your niche. As we said, it's going to position you as an expert. You're going to be way more visible than you would be if you weren't doing speaking. And when you are sharing your expertise, when you are positioning yourself as the go-to expert, it builds that know, like and trust factor, as we've just said, and really does position you in the mind of your ideal clients as an authority. When you position yourself in this way, it means that you can raise your fees. And as we said already, It means that by sharing your wisdom and speaking publicly about it and creating desire in your audience, it means that you can, break down that buying skepticism. You can raise your fees, charge your worth, and get it, which is always a bonus. Hands up. Someone give me the hands up emoji if you are interested in raising your fees and don't know how to charge your worth and get it. This is one of the ways to help you do that. The fifth reason for adding speaking to your business is that it gets you invited to other speaking gigs. One thing I noticed when I very first started to get out there on the speaking circuit, I very quickly started to be invited to speak all around the UK and indeed internationally on virtual telesummits. It actually got to the point where it was rather like overkill. In the end, I had to start limiting how much speaking I was doing because I was doing more speaking than anything else. And so the reason for that is because if you're good at what you do, if you know how to structure your talk, and if you speak confidently and you are positioning yourself as that authority, then you become known on the speaking circuit as someone who is a great speaker. And there's other little key tips that you can utilize to make it super easy for event hosts to have you as a guest speaker. I remember when I was doing a lot of speaking around the UK, there's a few little extra things that I would send to a speaking host, and they always came back to me and said, "Oh my God, no one ever does this. This is so helpful. Thank you so much." And so it makes having you as the guest speaker so easy. They don't have to promote you. You've basically done all the work for them. And that means, because if you are someone who is looking for guest speakers, people are always speaking to other hosts saying, who do you know? Who do you know who's a great speaker? And your name will start to get around very, very quickly. Sally, good morning. Melody, nice of you to join us. When you start to do virtual speaking, obviously the word gets out, especially if you're doing it virtually. I got invited to speak on a lot of international telesummits and things like that because I was more visible. And the same has happened for many of my clients. In fact, I hosted a private intensive with a client just the other day, and it was her very first speaking gig, which is why she enlisted my help, and she wanted to make it super profitable. So at the end of the speaking gig, not only did she enroll 3 new clients off the back of that, but she also was immediately invited by someone in the audience who was hosting their own events to be one of the guest speakers at a much higher level speaking opportunity. And this was from her very first speaking gig. So when you do it correctly, you can really get the word out there very, very quickly. And of course, what does that mean for you? It means less marketing, less effort, because people are coming to you. Sound good? Sound juicy? Okay, the 6th reason for you to add speaking to your business is that someone else is going to gather the audience for you. Now, those of you who know me, those of you who are in my Inspired to Greatness community here on Facebook, and those of you who have worked with me previously, know I am all about working smarter and not harder. And, one of the big problems I see for a lot of women is that they are doing too much. They are, experiencing what I call that bright, shiny object syndrome, where they're looking about on social media and they see someone doing this over here and someone doing that, and they're like, oh my God, I need to do this and I need to do that. Hands up. Give me some emojis if that is you. And it puts people into overwhelm. It really, really does. Now, what I would say to you is in terms of working smarter and not harder, it's not about doing more. It's not about adding more stuff to your to-do list. It is about picking a few strategies that, you know, fit with your natural gifts and talents, that fit with the ethos of your business, and that actually meet your ideal clients where they're at. And then you do that consistently, and you do it really well. You don't rely upon wish and hope as a strategy for success. You actually perfect and master that strategy and do a lot of it. It doesn't, that way, you know, you don't need to be doing everything. Just pick a few key strategies, master them, and do them all the time. Morning, Kirsty. How are you? Nice to see you here. So yeah, when you are doing speaking, particularly if you're doing it live and in person, it means someone else is gathering the audience for you. They are doing the marketing. And there's a few things that you can send to your event host to help them maximize that marketing and get more bums on seats. Because of course, if you're going to get dressed up, if you're going to, you know, travel somewhere to go and do a speaking event, then you are going to want to ensure that there's as many bums on seats as possible. And it's the same with virtual speaking. You know, if you are someone who wants to start being interviewed for, you know, Facebook Live interviews or other virtual interviews or telesummits and that type of thing, and webinars, if you want to be invited to be a guest, then there's certain things that will help the event host promote you more. But altogether, it means that you can reach thousands more people than you wouldn't ordinarily do. And you come as a recommended person, because whoever picked you as, you know, the event host who picked you, they are basically handpicking you as somebody who is an expert, who is an authority, and that immediately elevates your positioning in the marketplace as someone who knows their stuff. Sound good to you? So next up, where were we? We were on number 7, the 7th reason why you should consider adding speaking to your business is that it demonstrates your expertise and it provides value. So nobody wants to be sold to. People want to know what they're getting. And, you know, the biggest mistake I see people making is that they just go out into the world and they just say, here's my offer, this is how much it costs, do you want it? If that's what you're doing, by the way, stop, because it really doesn't work. That is advertising, and advertising simply doesn't work. People see that and they're like, oh, thank you, no thank you. But when you use speaking, you are there at the front of the room. You are speaking about a topic that your audience clearly wants to know about, because they are there in front of you, whether it's virtual or live and in person. By the very nature of the fact that they're attending, that tells you these are people who have literally held their hand up to say, yes, I'm interested in your topic. And good morning, nice of you to join us. I've not seen you for a long time. Hope you're well. So yeah, by the very nature of the fact that they're there, these are pre-qualified clients. These are the people who are most likely to become clients. They're not just random strangers. They've just moved themselves further into your world. And so when they're there in front of you, you're giving them an opportunity to learn about your area of expertise, learn about the problems associated to that, learn about the solutions they can expect to receive by working with you, and you're sharing lots of tips to help them get started. And what that does is it creates desire in your watchers or your audience. It helps them see the gap between where they are and where they want to be. And also, because you positioned yourself as the expert and the authority, and you're providing value in that moment to help them, it helps them very easily see yes, the gap between where they are and where they want to be, but also how you are the bridge to help them get to where they want to go. And of course, because you're sharing the tips, you're demonstrating, yes, listen, I know my staff, I can help you with this. So that when it comes to you actually making an offer, they are on the edge of their seats and ready to say, yep, where do I sign up? And, you know, hands up, who doesn't want some of that? So that means, of course, when you follow that process, the benefit to you is that it's going to break down that buying skepticism. It's going to warm that relationship, and it naturally and effortlessly flows into you, into the sale, into you making an offer with it in a way that makes it graceful and easy and seamless rather than disjointed and just going in for that sale piece. The eighth reason, the eighth super profitable reason why you should add speaking to your business is that it helps you create new clients on demand. So, if you want to have a profitable business, even if you don't do any other marketing, and you booked one speaking gig a month, when it's done the right way, that means you are getting in front of a decent audience every single month. You're doing all the things we've just talked about. You're building the know, like, and trust factor. You're positioning yourself as an authority. If you show up in front of the right audience just once a month, that is going to generate you enough leads for you to have clients on demand. You know, one of the things I'll be teaching in the Speaking Superstar training next Saturday is exactly how to do that, how to set up your talks, how to get booked for speaking gigs, how to deliver your talk in a way that really provides value, and how to make an offer so that you do have that consistent flow of clients and you do generate big paydays on demand. But that also creates leads for you, because the truth is, not everyone is going to buy from you there and then at the end of your speaking gig. Some of the people, genuinely, they may not be able to afford it at that moment, or that it might not be the right time. However, with the right processes in place, it means that you can bring those people into your world and have a way of moving them towards becoming a client a little bit further down the line. And that means you're constantly in a position where you've got that consistent flow of clients coming in. Where were we on the list? Yes, number nine, the ninth reason for you to add speaking to your business is that it creates a consistent flow of enrolling conversations. So that leads on to what I was just saying. If people don't sign up there and then to become a client, which sometimes they don't, you've still got a room full of people who could potentially become your client. You know, if you're speaking to 10 people, 30 people, 100 people, thousands of people may be the case if you're hosting Facebook Lives, then every single person who has attended your event, they are pre-qualifying themselves as a potential client. If they are watching and listening, they are there for a reason. So it is your job to help bring them further into your world, build that relationship of trust with them so that they choose to come into a conversation with you so that you can present your opportunity or the package or program that you're selling. And so by doing this, you're generating a consistent flow of new leads and new enrolling conversations for your business. Because you've got to remember, if you're a coach, a consultant, a therapist, a service-based business owner, you've got to remember this little phrase here. Conversations equals clients, cash flow, and collaboration. So my question to you is, how many conversations are you having? And this is the benefit of speaking. It means that, first of all, you're having a conversation one-to-many rather than one-to-one. And then for some people, you're going to bring them further into your world and start having one-to-one conversations with them. But of course, these are people who are most likely to become a client. And the final profitable reason you should be adding speaking to your business is that you can really elevate your income because you're marketing one-to-many rather than one-to-one, and you're reaching a wider audience because you're positioning yourself as an authority and you're coming on the recommendation of the event host or the person who who is promoting your speaking gig. All the roads lead to you making a lot more money, so you can expect to generate big paydays from speaking. So you can look to add 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 and even more to your business on demand any time you make the decision to get out speaking. But of course the key to this is to know how to do this in a way that just flows gracefully, that really does position you as the authority, that helps you feel super confident when you're delivering your talk. And so if you are someone who is interested in doing all of these things, if you want to add speaking to your business and to become your own version of a speaking superstar, then I would love to invite you to join me on my group virtual intensive, which I will be hosting next Saturday morning. It's actually a one-day intensive, so that'll be Saturday the 28th of April. And actually, let me quickly drop the link to that into the comments. Just 2 seconds, and you can go look at that if you are interested in joining us. Let me just refresh here. 2 seconds. Woohoo, where we are, there we go, scrolling down. There you go, look. Just put that in the comments there. So if you are someone, the premise for this intensive is that I'm going to be teaching my complete step-by-step system for quickly designing, marketing and presenting a compelling signature talk that wins hearts and minds, builds your list, and reliably transforms a high percentage of your audience into eager paying clients. Everything you need to learn about that is in the link I've just dropped in the comments, and it is next Saturday the 28th. So if you're interested in joining me, then go look at that page and book your place. And if you register before next Tuesday, 10 a.m. next Tuesday, you stand to save over £700. So now is the time to book your spot if you are interested. And of course, I'm going to be speaking more about this every single day right here at my personal profile page between now and next Saturday. And as you probably heard at the beginning of this broadcast, if you would love to win a free place to my intensive, then I invite you to share this broadcast and every single broadcast in this 7-part series, because the person who shares it the most will get a complimentary place on that training. So share in the comments to let me know that you have, and I look forward to hearing from those of you who are listening in to the replay. Post a replay in the comments below and give me some hearts, give me some likes if you enjoyed this training, and also tell me which one of these 10 steps, these 10 reasons, sounds the most compelling to you. What gets your interest the most? Post it in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you same time, same place tomorrow morning right here at my profile page at 10 a.m. So that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for listening in. I look forward to seeing you all first thing tomorrow. Enjoy the sunshine. Happy Saturday to you. Have a great one, guys. Bye for now. This is Victoria Player signing out. Take care.